Welcome to SwiftForm. This is Roger V, founder of Swift Cloud, and in this quick video I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a form and embed it into any website. So first, SwiftForm is free. We will always have at least a free version. We may later split off a paid version. At this time, everything in SwiftForm is free, so you don't even need a credit card or anything. Before we get started, I do want to spell out that there are three types of forms, and spelling it out with this clarity will help you understand what the form needs to do. The basic forms are lead capture, and that's basic info early in the selling cycle, typically just a name, phone, maybe some comments, something like that. You might get a physical address if you're in real estate, but it's generally a short form for basic information. Qualification is for people you have already captured and they're already in your contact database in Swift Cloud. And what that allows you to do is, let's say you have 1,000 people on your list and you just want to find out the 18 people that currently want to buy a house this month, for example, or currently need windows replaced, or whatever it is that you sell. You can pre-fill their contact info into the form, and then that gets appended to their needs. And that's one of the unique things that SwiftForm can do that, to my knowledge, none of the other off-the-shelf form systems can do, which is appending to an existing record like a proper CRM should do. Last is the full application, such as a point of commitment. Next, let me show you a couple of examples of these. So here's a typical contact form. It's very basic. Name, phone, email address, how can we help? That's basically comment, and then a drop down, and I'll show you how to generate this in just minutes. It's a beautiful looking form, super easy to install, and we will give you several installation options, including a WordPress plugin, which is currently in beta, but it may be online by the time you see this, which allows really effortless, no programming required. All you need to know is the number of the form. You plug that in, drag and drop it into the widget, or use a shortcode which we'll give you, and we'll have more help videos specifically on that. Here's another example of a get a free quote page. In this case, name, email, phone, make and model of the car, and then some comments and just a send info. One of the recent examples of our level of commitment to excellence in what you need is the smart zip code. For example, if we just capture their zip code, we'll give you not just the city, state, zip, country, county, we'll also give you demographic data about that zip code. And in the case of capturing physical address, we can even do things like automatically pull a Zillow value and append it to the record. So obviously if you're in real estate, you may or may not love Zillow, but nonetheless it is a starting place for an approximate value, and sometimes that's useful. It also might be useful for other industries if you're in, let's say, solar or something like that. As much as possible, we try and make things easy for you and do all the heavy lifting behind the scenes so that you get to just use it and you don't have to know any programming, and we want to make this as easy as possible. This is an example of a full application, and it's got a lot of data. And in this case, we are replicating paper. So the forms are carefully generated to look sensible because it is complicated. This is a reverse mortgage application. And this is an example of a full application that you can build. In this case, you'd have to probably contact us, but we can build this sort of thing for you if you've got that, and it will replace the paper, and then later we will integrate this with Swift Signature and Swift Sign, or you could push it over to some existing online signature system if that's what you prefer. So here's how a form actually gets built. You just go to My Forms, Add New, get logged into SwiftForm, and then go to My Forms, Add New, and you can simply just add fields that you have. In this case, I already have email, and let's say if we want to add a text field, we just click this little plus right over here. In this case, I don't want that on there, so I'm going to delete that. If I wanted to change this to, I could change the label for this to, we could say primary phone number, and just close it, and that's it. It's really that simple. The variable label and all the programming under the hood is already done. The validation in this case is already done. It's already programmed to work like a phone number and only accept a phone number, a valid phone number. And although we do allow international phone numbers, so the number of digits may or may not always be correct. If somebody doesn't want to give you their phone number, they may put in Mickey Mouse data. We have no way really of enforcing that short of doing actual phone validation. But for things like email address, we can enforce that it does have an @ symbol and a .com or .net or .me or whatever it is for you. You can change the label of the submit button. Let's change it to learn more or request a call. Just really that simple. Once you're done editing your form, simply save it. You need to give it a name. Simply give it a name, hit save up here, and as soon as you do, you're going to have options. Now, we're going to, in the near future, it may be online by the time you see this download button is going to evolve to give you more options, including sending it to a programmer, having our team install it for you, which may cost a few bucks. It's probably going to be pretty inexpensive, but we want to give that to you as an option if you're intimidated by any of the code. We'll also have the WordPress plugin and install using WordPress right up here, and the link to download the plugin and how to install it. Now, assuming you want to chain this to a autoresponder, that you would do using Swift Marketing. So in this case, you'll see Swift Marketing sequence. In order to set one of those up, what you'll do is go over here to Swift Form, Swift Marketing. We'll go ahead and open that up. And just go to Campaigns, Sequence. Go ahead and create a sequence in the top right. Click Add New Marketing Sequence and give your sequence a name. And I would recommend calling it whatever your agenda is. So if, let's say, this is a home buyer's form, then you just call it Home Buyer's Main List, something like that. And then once you hit save, then come back here and refresh this page. Simply refresh the page. That's F5 in some browsers, in Chrome, for example. Just refresh the page or reload the page, and you'll see it down here. Now, as soon as I click this, any data that's captured by this form will automatically get added to this sequence, and thus the autoresponder will fire out. Don't forget to add your thanks URL. This might look like mysite.com/thank you. This is the page that they're going to see after this data is captured. And here you've got a couple different forms where we need to replace these icons, but there are a bunch of different visual forms that you can choose, for example. And these are still getting hooked up, but you can see the basic idea. We've got different templates that are going in, and we've also are starting to work on different styles of web form. So a scroll aware slide up. We will show these via successive videos, but in the meanwhile, you can change any form at any time, and so feel free to just play with it and explore, and as we add new features, we will update these help videos. Once this form captures the data, you will of course get an email with as much information as is captured, and then as much meta information as we can distill on top of that. Things like looking up the email address or looking up the phone number if we can. We'll try and append that and make your life easy and give you as much information as possible. Furthermore, whatever actions you define down here will of course happen, so this will get sent over to Swift Marketing, so it'll get added to your Swift Cloud address book in this case as a contact. It will also trigger Swift Marketing sequence, which is a sequence of events, basically like an autoresponder. However, our sequences can contain more than just email. They could actually contain a notice for you to call them on day 14, for example, or even a mail for you to print and mail to them if you've captured their physical mailing address. In the near future, and maybe online by the time you see this, you'll see options to push this over to Swift CRM as a potential sale for you, or even Swift Books as an accounting record, either for a receivable or a payable. You may also want to tag any of the contacts captured through this form that can help you later with regards to marketing and sales and who to spend your time focusing on. And all you need to do is simply give it a tag and just hit tab. Jump on in and enjoy.